Hey, how's it going, guys? Sean from Team Honey Badger here, back again to bring you guys a video on my opinion of the top 5 cards that changed Vanguard for the better. So keep in mind, this is my personal opinion. I only got stuff from like my ideas, so I read a lot, done a lot of digging in the Wikia, and I found my top 5. So let's get started. So for my number 5 spot, I chose Great Silver Wolf Garmor. Great Silver Wolf Garmor, actually, I took a lot of thinking in this one, but here's my reasoning. Great Silver Wolf Garmor was the first consistent card to ever be, like the first actually consistent card that changed Vanguard, because it could easily hit 15k, which was a magic number back in the day, easily, just by attacking. And its ability to call a grade 2 or less from the deck is actually still good. If only it's the 11k, it would still be a little bit viable. But Garmor opened up the idea for consistent cards, also having powerful attackers, which was something that a lot of Vanguard cards were lacking back in the day. So that's my reasoning for. Now, I think we all saw this coming at number 4, or at least on the list. Dote, Dragonic Overlord the End. So Dragonic Overlord the End was actually the meta card back in the day. Even when Limit Break's still alive, he was still consistent. Even in parts of Season 3, he was still very good. This card is still one of the long-lasting Vanguards that has stayed in the meta for the long. I think he stayed in the meta for the longest time out of all the original Vanguard cards. So that's why I say he changed Vanguard. So I chose him at number 4 because there's a lot more cards that change Vanguard to where we have to think more about our plays, and Bushy had to like limit him or them to 2 at one point because it was being too broken. I see why Bushy did that, because they want us to have a viable tournament experience while still having fun, not just seeing lots of end decks. Because Dragonic Overlord the End was the meta card, and I think it still is in some places. Dragonic Overlord the End is definitely here to stay. I don't think it will go anywhere for a while, so that's my reasoning for putting him at number 4. So at my number 3 spot, I put Exculpate the Blaster. Now, I know this might seem like an odd choice to y'all, but here's my reasoning for putting Exculpate the Blaster in my spot. Exculpate the Blaster opened up trading defense for offense by minusing yourself. So, and it was like the first grade 4, even though it says grade 3, but technically it's a grade 4. It's too overpowered. Honestly, it's still a dark horse deck out there. It still has to be feared, except you have to minus your stealth by writing a card with Blaster Blade in the name from your drop zone at the end of your turn. That's why you could just play Spirits. But Exculpate the Blaster, I think, is a really good tech card, and I put him at number 3 because trading defense for offense is actually a pretty bold mechanic for this sort of deck. For Royal Paladins, because Royal Paladins are known for playing consistently while calling their rear guards. So that's my reasoning for putting Exculpate the Blaster at number 3, and see you all for number 4. I think, yep, we all saw this coming. Transcendence Dragon Dragon Novell Vague. So he's in this spot because he's Novell. Just kidding. But Novell actually is an important card that changed Vanguard because it opened up different guarding for power. So this card was honestly described as the best card in the game. But I don't think so anymore. There is a better card than Novell, and that is the number 1 spot. But Novell is Novell, and we had to deal with it by being able not to guard with most of the cards in our hand. Glory Maelstrom's actually a good one too, but he doesn't make the list because he couldn't hit numbers like Novell can. But I still believe that Novell, even in Legion season, will still last in the meta, like as a dark horse. But when Kagero gets its limit break enabler, I think it will. I think it will make a reboot back to the top tier 1, and maybe, hopefully, not. We won't get a tier 0 because I don't want a tier 0 in this game. But tier 0 is obviously gonna be Megacon. So that's it for November. So for number 1, I put Revenger, Raging Form Dragon. Sike Parasne. Just kidding. So Raging Form Dragon, I put at number 1 over Omega Glendius. I know Omega Glendius is the first instant win card, but I put Raging Form at number 1 because it's a consistent standing vanguard. Like, I know you would say, like, what? Galaxy Blau is not number 1? I know. It's just, yeah. But Raging Form definitely wins number 1 because his support. Keep in mind, I made this list pre-Legion season. So, but Raging Form, the deck is so consistent. Like, even in the hands of a bad player, you could still have a shot at winning, even when you're using Raging Form. Because the consistencies that Revengers have allows it to make it so Raging Form could get itself stood up. Especially when combo with the Break Ride, which really synergizes well with Raging Form. In fact, the Break Ride synergizes well with all Shadow Paladins. Except Phantom Blaster Overlord. But yeah, Raging Form definitely takes number 1 because he could also hit numbers too. Swing for 21 when he restands. And don't forget, he could swing for 24 with a counterblast when he attacks Break Ride turn unboosted. So this is why I put him at number 1. Hope you guys enjoyed my list. Shout out to Team Legendary Death. Help them out. They're almost at 60 subs. I'll leave a link to their channel in the description. And that's pretty much it for this list, guys. Thank you all for watching.